Okay, well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bira discussion on Glee 23. I think what I really wanted to cover this morning in a couple of slides is just a bit about why Bira and our members want us there, and also why we think it might be of interest to you to be at Glee this year. It's a slightly different Glee, and I think it's more encompassing for lots of people. So some kind of housekeeping. You've got the chat button if you want to send any chat. We've got some people watching that. Thank you firstly for attending in this mid kind of bank holiday week. We've got another one in a couple of weeks, so I don't want you guys to think you're guinea pigs, but it's our first trial on the Glee presentation. So any questions, but I'll be introducing you to someone from Glee in a moment. But what I thought would be really useful is just to give a bit of an update on Bira itself and why we think Glee should be here. So I think really from our own point of view, most of you will know how Bira Direct works. The most important thing is we guarantee payment for every one of your invoices. And I think the other issue is that our members are starting to get out more to actually go to trade shows. So that's why we're pushing more and more trade shows for our members. So I think everyone knows how we work. I think from my own point of view, that the kind of key subject is that Glee this year will encompass everything that Bira looks at. So no matter what sector you're in, whether you're in DIY, hardware, cook shop, gifting, pets, or even kind of outdoor and entertaining, all of these are covered by Glee 23. And that's why it's worth, I think, when James talks to you, you understand that where the stand is positioned, we can reflect DIY, we can reflect hardware, we can reflect gifting as well. So I think it's a good opportunity this year just to look at flexing our muscle in terms of where we reach out. As you know, we've got over 2,000 brands, and most of them are there to actually ensure that our independents can compete with the multiples. And that's what we really want to get through in Glee, because gardening and outdoor leisure is a massive growth area at the second. So really just from me, why we're at Glee 23. We had a really good spring fair, surprisingly good. Members came, but more importantly, they ordered. And I think the feedback we got from spring fair was that our members were glad to be back at shows, but more importantly, glad to be seeing new product and seeing suppliers. So from our point of view, I think trade shows have changed. They've morphed into different kind of community gatherings, and that's why we wanted a village. So rather than just come and see Bira at one stand, we want a village of different suppliers there. It gives you the opportunity to get lots of new potential members to you, but it also gives you the opportunity to reach out to your customer base to say you could be at Glee, even though it's a smaller stand, just so you can get to speak to people, hear what they want. What we're also doing this year is we're running the Glee £100 voucher. So any member who spends over £400 during Glee at Glee will get a 25% discount. So spend 400, get £100 back. So that's a pretty impressive offer. And at Spring Fair, we had over 20 suppliers who were participating in the voucher offer, and all of them got redemptions. So I think what we will do, we will be doing a lot of marketing to our members about the voucher, that you can only get the 25% discount if you turn up at the stand. And going forward, if someone places an order with you not at the stand, then we wouldn't be looking to honour that. It's about getting footfall and getting us through. But the key for us is that our members want us there. All the feedback now is they want to get out more. We know that representation in the field is diminishing, so this is the opportunity for them to get to see new ideas and new offerings. So from me, that's kind of everything. I'll sit in on the rest of the meeting, but I'm going to pass you over to James now. And James is from Glee. James will take over. I just make sure I pass over the screen to him. So James, maybe not the smoothest handover, but I'm going to pass over to you now, and you can share your screen. All right.
Right. Good. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate letting me share my screen. Let's get this shared, and hopefully my presentation will be seen and up and running. Can everyone see my presentation?
Yeah, that's perfect. I'm going on silence, James.
Oh, good news. Now, thanks everyone for your time today. Really appreciate it. I know everyone's really busy, but no, over the next few slides, I just wanted to give you the heads up on what Glee's all about. how we're progressing and growing as a show. Also, what the opportunity is for being at Glee this year, as Jeff said. It's some really good positive things happening, and some great opportunities to be sort of benefiting from. So first of all, I think let's talk about Glee, just to give you a clarify and give you an update on the show. So we'll move on to the first slide. So Glee is the leading garden trade show, and outdoor living trade show in the UK. Right, we're attracting around 5,500 visitors, and it's quite a diverse bunch of visitors actually. Obviously, you've got the 2,200 garden centre stores, and that equates to about 1,600 garden centre businesses that will attend. But you also have sort of DIY, a lot of DIY retailers, smaller independents and multiples, high street shops, obviously, and supermarkets and online retail. So it's quite diverse. You also have about 8% international as well. So, but what's important to know is that UK garden retail, particularly, and I know DIY has been the same, but garden retail over the last few years has been growing steadily every year, year on year. It's a very, very strong marketplace, as is now the trade show Glee as a platform. But obviously the pandemic hit everyone and really quite hard. But actually, do you know what? Garden retail really benefited from it, madly enough, and it accelerated their growth. And they've really sort of kicked on and sort of won a lot of new consumers over that period of time, and actually kept a lot of them as well. So we're in really good shape, so is the market. Those stats you see there just gives you a bit of highlights to how sort of powerful the visitor is that comes to Glee. It's 75%, obviously sole joint responsibility purchasing wise. You've got 1.7 billion combined annual budget over among Glee buyers. This all stats from last year. 52% visitors are C-suite professionals, and then obviously 41% are new to Glee. We always have a really good percentage of new exhibitors, and that's quite good, because garden retail and I'm sure obviously all the other visitors are really thirsty and really keen to find new brands and new products to work with. So that's a really good, important stat. So why are we launching Glee? So we're launching Glee because obviously there's a great synergy between garden retail and DIY. Now, obviously, because of the softer housing market and the cost of living crisis, that's only fed into the growth, I think, of DIY as a whole. And obviously, it's led towards more less selling of houses and more improve on your house yourself. So it's really increased that DIY sort of aspect and getting people into that sort of remit of doing up their houses. So and that's going to continue, I think, for sure. But there's definitely a huge synergy between the two marketplaces, garden retail and DIY. Plus, what we're doing here is we've got this partnership between Bira and Beta, and that will really strengthen the amount of DIY retailers that come to Glee, and we want that to be a sort of solid footing for this year, foundation wise, and then push on for the years ahead to really give the DIY marketplace a strong trade show platform at Glee. So that's why we're there. But now, just give you sort of some insight as well. So Jeff pointed sort of on this as well. We've got 9 strong categories at Glee. So we've got the core category, which is garden care, landscaping, outdoor entertainment. You've then got obviously pets, which is big business growth, real growth area for garden retail, and also home and gift as well. It's huge, it's massive. It has been for years. It's been growing steadily. Period. It's in really good shape, and we've got a new sector. We've got 2 sectors actually for pets, one right on an entrance and another right on the entrance. You'll see the plan when I show you in the slide later. Both those sector areas are in really strong positions of the plan, and the appetite to reach garden retail is really very high. So that's so we've got as I say, we've got 9 strong sectors at the show. So yeah, I mean, it's all about really a platform. And again, a perfect place to launch new products find new customers, which is the important part, and nurture those existing relationships you've got to build your brands. And obviously, just bear in mind that Glee takes place at the NEC, glorious NEC Birmingham. We all love and know, but it is a very central place. It's perfect as a location for all these businesses throughout the UK to come to and meet and greet. So moving on to the next slide. You've got what I want to do now is just give you a bit of a flavour for Glee. This is some highlights from 2022. So let me play this video and we'll have a watch. DIY and home improvement sector, right? So, yeah, as said, right, it's about there's three main objectives, particularly the first two. Engage with independent, for you to engage with independent and multiple DIY stores that we're going to attract to Glee. You know, really sort of help you develop that side of your business on a trade show in a trade show environment, as well as capturing new businesses to work with. And then the next one is present your DIY and home improvement offering to garden centres and really get your foot in the door. Do a lot of intel as well, really grabbing an understanding of what the business owners are thinking, as well as certainly doing some orders with them and hopefully creating and starting relationships with some garden centre businesses. And there's some fantastic businesses out there. There's obviously, as I said, there's 1,600 businesses throughout the UK. There's 30 multiples and the rest are independents. So there's a large amount of independents, all at different sizes, all family run, cleverly run businesses, and really care about their customers and the brands they bring into their stores. So it's as I say, they're all diversifying. They're all finding the new sort of brands to work with, new areas to work with and benefit from and specialize in. So DIY is a perfect area for them to work on and start increasing in. So also the last one is the partnership. The buyer and beta partnerships is crucial. We're going to put that in place. We've created a village in a really strong position of the plan, and our aim is to then really help you guys get a very good engagement at the show, enabling you to meet those buyers and sellers that you want to meet. So that's the three main objectives. Moving down, give you a flavour of who you're going to meet. So you've got some garden centres I've mentioned. Barton Grange is great independent. Baytree's the same. Bents, and I think they've only got one store, but wow, what a store! So diverse and such a really incredible business. Blue Diamond, as you probably know, is one of the multiples. British Garden Centres, again, one of the bigger, larger multiples, about 60 stores plus. Dobbies, again, I think it's about 70 stores. I mean, the list goes on, as you can see there, right, for garden retail. And then you've got the department stores. I think there's lots going on at Glee in terms of the supermarkets, the B&M discount stores, Wilko, and then obviously most of the DIY sheds and multiples, B&Q, Homebase, Wicks, etc. So yeah, some solid visitor base, but very diverse, and hopefully we can get you some good sort of traction into those businesses. And then online retailers, don't forget. So they're really quite useful and a great revenue creator potentially. So that's really some of the snapshot, I suppose, of the opportunities. Moving down, Bira partnership. So what we're doing is we're creating that central hub for you guys to really sort of present yourselves really well. providing an area for you for suppliers to engage with that target audience, which is going to be important. As I say, a lot of this is, I think, as well. The big factor of this is really getting a lot of intel and getting a lot of insight into garden retail. Offer a fully equipped suppliers package. So we've put together a package as part of our partnership, which is going to be really good for you guys. It's going to save you some money, give you a significant discount. We'll cover it on the next one of the next slides. But yeah, fully equipped stand for you to present yourself on. Also opening up marketing opportunities. Now, this is quite, I think it's key. Marketing is key. Preparation to a show is important. There's a marketing support package in place to help you get on the agenda and get as much exposure as possible towards the show. And I will help you and guide you on that. There's a slide on this I'll talk about in a short while. Some great marketing opportunities to be had. And then, as I mentioned, a discounted package for Bira suppliers particularly has been organised and negotiated. So moving down, this is the show. On the right-hand side, you've got 4 halls of the NEC. It's almost all one long hall without a dog leg round at the top there, which is great. So one long hall sort of merged into one, 4 halls, all the entrances on the right-hand side. I'm not sure what your experiences are of the NEC. Those entrances are all widely used, particularly Hall 8 entrance down the bottom, which is circled. That's the nearest entrance to the public transport. They all come via the Skywalk and then filter in on that main registration site on that entrance. And also Hall 20 at the top there is a good one because that's closest to the car park. Gets a lot of traction in there as well. But that's our overview of our show. And then to the left, you have the snapshot of the area. Now, where I've circled again in blue, that is showing you that we're deliberately placing the DIY and home improvement sector onto one of our busiest entrances. So that's going to really hold us in good stead to get quality engagement and footfall. And above that, by the way, in that red section above, where you are as a sector, that's our new home and gift pavilion. All right, that's a sector we're putting into this year. Because of the demand we've had for home and gifts over the years, we felt it absolutely necessary to put in a section for it. It's taken off. We've had a massive amount of appetite and engagement, and we've got some incredible brands booked in. And I think it's going to really help us. It's going to be a really busy sector. It's going to help all those home and gift buyers that come to the show and business owners for that matter to focus on that area, as well as then being close to you guys and dropping down and to have a look at the DIY section. So it's going to help. And above that as well, in this sort of beige area, that's our pet section as well. Again, on the entrance so all these 3 sectors, they're going to be growth areas. Home and gift and pets already are. And DIY is definitely going to be in growth for the next years ahead. So that's why we've put them in strong positions of our plan. Now you've got the on the left-hand side, as you come into the entrance, you've got brands like Sodal, Rustin's. You've also got Wilson's booking in imminently. They've got a contract they're about to sign today or tomorrow, and they're taking 8045 and 8D46 together, 27 square meters. As you probably know, Wilson's are a sizable DIY and homewares wholesaler. And then yes, we're in talks with a number of different brands to take the one overlooking the entrance. So that's going to be quite exciting. Who's going in there for us as well? So yeah, and then we've got this Bira and Bira Village in green. Now the bottom part, the 2 banks underneath where it says Bira and Bira, that is where we've got stands cut up certain sizes to accommodate your need. Okay, so these stands we can tweak them if necessary, but they're all 2 sides open, which is what you want for a show, and they're all in, as I say, at the front of the show. And also, by the way, that grey aisle is the 4-meter main boulevard that runs straight through the plan, straight up the plan. So that's where that aisle will get the most footfall, and this village is sitting on that main aisle. Plus, there's behind Bira and Bira the stands themselves, which is where they're going to be presenting them, obviously presenting themselves. You've got 2 others that are there up for grabs as well, and they will sit opposite that home and gift sector that I mentioned. So this is the overview. I hope that's been clear in terms of the opportunity and what we're doing with the sectors, particularly DIY and home improvement. Moving down, give you a snapshot of what it's going to look like. So these are the stands. Now, what we've done, we're making an equipped package, and part of that is to add in enhanced cladding in a certain color, which we're going to make raw blue as a color, which is the branding color for Bira and Beta. So that's going to be really nice. It's enhanced cladding transformed the aluminium framework shell scheme into something much more visually better. As you can see here, it's in a different color. It's just from last year, and it just transforms it into a much better looking stand, and it makes the whole area stand out. As well as that, you're going to get spotlights thrown as well, which is going to be quite nice for future spotlight your products and enhance that as well. So those are the visuals, and as I say, also the name boards will have Bira name branding on it, as well as your own banner name, whatever that will be. So moving down, marketing support. I mentioned this earlier. As I say, it's crucial for me. I've changed the way I do things. Every client I book in, I then book in a planning meeting with you, and that is purely to help you support and guide you. Make sure you know exactly what's in your support marketing package that you're paying money for, and how you get the full use out of it, how you maximize, and how we can work together to get you on the agenda and get you exposure. Whether it's the Glee lookbook, which is a digital lookbook we're going to be presenting to all of our visitors. Imagine because you're new business, which is a focus for them, you're going to be in that, and it's going to be a way of them just flicking through, spotting who they want to meet and greet, and adding to their agenda. There's others. There's buyers meeting program from Gene, and that's going to get you a couple of meetings hopefully at the show. Things like our profile on our website, which is a must. To be looking really decent. Overview, all your visuals on that profile. It's used heavily over the next 7 weeks. This is where all the activity ramps up, where business owners and buyers will go to our website, check out profiles to help plan themselves for the show. So you'll have a decent profile for them to look at. And obviously, show catalog and guide, that's going to be part of it. That's standard, but it's given out to every visitor. To again, another tool for them to use to plan for the show. That's post as well after the show. But yeah, let's work together on it. Let's really do what we can to get you as much exposure as possible. So that's the marketing. Moving down, now the investment you're going to need. So as you can see, shell scheme rate is 445. That package will include an equipped shell stand, walling, carpet, name board, spotlight, and enhanced cladding. If you wanted a power socket, that would be extra. You can get that from GES. Also, you can get other things from GES if you need it, like slatted walling to help you sort of present your products, etc. But these things can be easily ordered through GES. Now, down underneath is space only. So the shell scheme, but the space only is that you need, if you were to go for 20 square meters as a stand, then absolutely you can benefit from the space only rate, which is a lot more reduced, 325, and then you build your own stand. So that there are options for that, and we're happy to look at that. Now, Bira discount, 12.5% off. So this is our maximum normally to anyone in the show is 10%. We would, and finance would need a very good reason for that to happen. We've negotiated better than that, and rightly so, because this partnership is going to be a key for us moving forward. So 12.5% off those rates above is what discount you're getting as a supplier. And then, as mentioned, support marketing package is £450. That is a crucial part of this. It's a compulsory cost, and it includes, as I say, all those tools that I've mentioned to help get good exposure and get you noticed. All of the above are plus VAT. So moving down, so next steps really. So What I would like and I advise to do, obviously, Virginia will send out to you a copy of this presentation, a sales brochure, and potentially a document on our latest press release, which is a really good insight on what we're doing for DIY this year and why. So you'll get that, and then just come back to me. Either call me on that number or email me, and let's have a chat. And I advise that we have a Teams meeting or normal call, and just I can then discover and get a better understanding what you're all about, what you're wanting to present at Glee, what your objectives are, and then we can work out exactly what size stand you need based on what budget you have, etc. And I can advise from there. And obviously CC and John, so we can see what's going on. We've got clarity on it. But yeah, so that's really where we are with it. And then we can just get the stand space is on first come first served basis, as you can imagine. So just be quite swift in coming to me with your interest, so we can get you booked in as soon as we can. So that's really next steps, and I hope that's clear. And then really, it's a thank you for your time today. Really appreciate it. I hope this presentation, this has been a useful session. Please, can I ask for any questions that you might have at this stage?
So James, Polly has asked in the chat just at the back that she's saying that festive is big business for garden centres, with be it party, be it Christmas. Is there a specific area within the show where that's covered? Yeah,
good question. So festive is particularly a very prevalent, very sort of a priority again for garden retail, and actually it's seasonal as well. So it's either festive Christmas, or it's Easter, or it's Halloween, and so on. So actually, now we're positioned in the end of June, it's really opened up a lot more opportunities for those areas and party as well, to get capture relationships, develop them, and get into stores earlier for the Christmas ahead, rather when we were in September and our old date line, it was too close. But those areas fall into our home and gift category, which is quite diverse.
Cheers. I think I can see Howard is typing something, so you might be able to see it in the chat come up. If not, I know Virginia will tell you which it is. I think for me, just to reiterate one thing, is that obviously for us, Bira haven't been at Glee before, but I think we were really pleased with the one that happened at Spring Fair. And what I've seen from James and his team is that Glee this year is fundamentally different for us, and it's far more attractive. Sorry, James, but it is because of this wider offering and the kind of outdoors and entertainment, linking with gifting, lifting with DIY, and God, it just means all of a sudden Bira Direct's fit is far stronger. And I think it allows us to reach to a much larger community. So I think what I would say is, look, obviously I won't say any more, but please get in touch with James directly. Copy in John, because John's handling it from our point. Howard has said, where is the main home and gift?
So that's a good question, Howard. Home and gift in previous years, the way it's worked best, it's been spread throughout our show. So I would then sort of work with each home and gift exhibitor brand and go, right, I think you should be in amongst these key brands, near hopefully near the front of the show if we can, if not near a busy restaurant or restrooms, but get you placed in the best position possible, mixed throughout the plan. Now, what we've done this year, because of the demand, because of the growth of that sector, we've thought, right, let's create that home and gift pavilion sector area, put it really right at the front of our show. We've done that this year, and it's taken off. We've had to extend it twice because of the appetite for it. And it's a package deal, so similar to what we were doing for you guys in DIY. And that's now I'm quite pleased about that, because that sector area, if you imagine home and gift buyers, business owners as well, because that's how Glee operates. A lot of the time you'll be engaging with the business owner. They will, obviously, it's a growth area of the business. They will spend some decent time milling around that focused area, capturing all those brands and having a look around. It's going to be really good this year. Hope that covers the question.
James, can I just check that in terms of the floor space of the Bira Village, is it right that there is gift connected to the top side of that village?
Yeah, so above, there, as mentioned on that floor plan slide, so you've got the DIY on Hall 8 entrance, you know, and directly above that in red, you've got that long strip, and that's the home and gift pavilion promotional area, sector area.
So I think what John was alluding to is that within the Bira Village, you know, the DIY hardware sector would be those ones you alluded to, which is that block below the Bira kind of logo, and above, if anyone was gifting and housewares, they'd be on that side, so it would link much more to gifting, and that's why I think the position is really strong. It's a good point, John.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and there's actually the way we're developing it. If you go opposite to where DIY sector is. There's a couple of spaces, there's some banks of stands there that we're changing around and so on, but we could turn those into our home and gift as well. We're probably likely to, so there could be some really good opportunities, and you'll be very close to that DIY sector and just sitting below where we currently have that red home and gift area.
I think what we will do is we'll share the map and the Bira Village out to everyone on the call, but John, I'm pretty sure we'll put something on the website as well. So obviously the whole call's been recorded. Virginia, will you be able to email this out to everyone, please? Yeah.
Yes, we can
see from the note you are. Unless there's any other questions, I want to try and keep to half an hour. James, I really appreciate that. It's a lot to try and get through, and I think people will have time to digest it when they see the link and be able to. We'll send more information out over the next couple of weeks. John's looking at a campaign, and we'll get involved. We'll show you how we're reaching out to our members and how we're promoting the voucher. So listen, everyone, thank you very much for dialing in, and much appreciated. We'll do the same in a couple of weeks, but I wish you all of those that a happy Thursday, busy Friday, and let's hope it's a fantastic weekend and we start seeing those tills rattle.
Absolutely.
Everyone, thanks for dialing in.
Thank you from me. Appreciate it.
Cheers now. Bye all.
See you. Bye-bye.